and just talk amongst ourselves? All right, we're
We
live right
can,
now.
we can, but you know,
I mean, we can, but then no one else will get to enjoy. So I think I have a new nickname for you, Pedro. You are
oh,
like
here we go.
Pedro.
Here we
Let me see.
go.
Let me take it.
Here we go. He's gonna hit me with something crazy, y'all.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm still happy and congratulatory towards you of the latest addition to your
Oh
family. You
yeah,
announced it
you want to talk
yesterday,
about
and
that? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying I gotta find a really good nickname for you because your boys are still working, like you're still swimming, and you can still do it, and that's impressive.
I mean,
A
I can
man as old as
still.
you
I
are,
mean, the boys are swimming. They're working.
his boys are working, y'all.
At this point, it's like a couple minutes at a time. You know what I mean? That they're
As
good.
long,
You know what I'm saying? But they working for them couple minutes, so I'm good. I
yes.
mean,
Well,
so y'all don't
you
know.
know,
Listen, Hannibal's
yeah.
referencing. So basically, me and my girl are having our second child together. This will be my third. So I have a 21-year-old, which is nuts, and then I have a 19-month-old, and then I'll have a baby in September. So your boy's just doing crazy things out
He's
here in these
working.
streets. I mean, I'm gonna work until I'm 90, but it's all good. I mean, it's all
Yeah.
love. So
You know what? Congratulations. It's always great to have, presence of a life, new life coming.
yeah,
Outside of two acts, did I miss the intro? You were just going all in.
we just
Actually, I
go
guess
right in. Yeah.
we'll start right now. Welcome to the Pedro and Hannibal podcast. My name is Hannibal. This guy over here, his name is Pedro. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good. Life is good. Super looking forward to what we got going on in a couple weeks.
Oh
Just
yeah, definitely. It's gonna be fun.
life is good, man. Life is good. So shout out to chat and life is good. Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you guys for coming in. I mean, we're gonna be talking about some stuff that's a little bit not so happy in terms of the NBA All Star game. It was pretty good. Like we have some thoughts on that. But first,
Yeah.
it's been a while. Now Pedro, he's dedicating a week to working a lot of hours. So
Yes.
I'm
I'm
wondering,
grinding.
like, you in the whip? I think that's what the kids call it. You in the whip?
Mhm.
What are you listening to music? Are you listening to that rap? Are you listening to rock? Are you listening to that? What you guys listen to that?
Man,
Reggaeton?
I knew you was gonna. What do you guys listen to? Listen to Hannibal.
I am. I
Listen to this
have.
guy.
I need this class. I need a sensitivity
He,
course. I'm sorry.
no, I'm good. I don't need that. Listen. So I knew you was gonna ask me this today,
Yeah.
and like today, I was grinding in my job, y'all. Like in what I do to make some money, right? And I was in the whip for 14 hours today collectively. That's a lot, but I didn't listen to any music. Isn't that crazy?
That's
I listened.
psychotic.
I listened. I know. I listened to zero music. Now I'm doing other things. I'm on the phone. I'm videotaping things.
Yeah.
Hopping in lives. I'm checking out. I watch a lot of YouTube. Um, I didn't listen to. I had radio on for maybe 5 minutes for maybe two different spells. The radio music was trash, and like for me, like I just wasn't in the mindset to listen to music because I was so amped up to like hit
Okay.
some
So you
goals.
didn't need. You didn't
I
need
didn't
any
want to chill.
motivation or
Yeah,
anything.
no, I was just like in a different zone. So I'm weird though. I get it. I probably should listen to some music tomorrow, but I didn't listen to nothing today, man. Yeah,
Fair enough. Fair. I mean, sometimes we really focus on what you gotta do. You don't want to be interrupted by some music, some even of that hippity hop. I mean, I keep it just to. Sometimes you need a vibe, but you weren't vibing.
yeah, I
You
was.
were working.
My
You were
vibe was a
doing your
different
thing.
vibe. Yeah. Shout out to Chad, and he says no mention of the Daytona 500. What is that, Chad? What is the Daytona 500?
I think there's like a gymnastics thing. I
Is
don't
that
know.
is that's where a car goes around in circles, right? Is that
Yeah,
what that
stock
is?
car racing.
Yeah, we
Yes.
don't watch that on this channel.
You know what? Yeah, apparently that happened this weekend.
You did it? Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming it's really a big deal.
No, it is a big deal.
For
It's
the
like
yeah,
their
because
Super Bowl, and they start the year off with the biggest event in
we think about
NASCAR.
that concept
I mean,
of
it works for
starting your
them. I'm
most
like, people
important.
love it. People love it. It
Yeah,
works. So
I'm wondering. I guess it wouldn't be possible for any other sport to have your most important event. And I'm sure they have others like Talladega Nights or
yeah,
Nights. That's the
I,
movie. But Talladega, there's other places where they do their thing. But I don't know. It's if you're betting, if you're really into racing, yeah. But yeah, I didn't watch 1 minute. But to be honest, I didn't watch 1 minute of the All Star game
neither did I.
stuff as well. So
We're
I
gonna
guess we could
talk
just
about
jump right into it. It's bad. It's becoming a all right. There's some highlights.
Well,
Obviously,
should we talk about? Okay, let's back it up for a second. Let's start off with
sure.
something good.
Oh, I got something
Now,
good right here.
the
I'll
slam
show you a
dunk
picture.
contest. The slam dunk contest. You want to talk
Something
about
better
that
than
at
that.
all? Oh,
Something
okay.
better than that.
Iggy
Well, at
Azalea.
least for me, it's a personal
Oh,
thing.
Nicki Minaj.
So better,
Damn. Okay, let's
better.
go. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Janae Monáe was
Oh,
at
I love
the
Janine.
celebrity basketball game.
Look at those thighs.
That is an amazing woman.
Yes.
Pedro, if I had the chance to, and if I had to kill you to do it, I would think about it strongly. I
That's
wouldn't do
fair.
it.
Fair. That's fair.
What a fine, talented woman. Can
Very
sing, can
talented.
act.
Yeah.
Glass Onion. I was a fan of that. People kind of over like. People
I
think it was a
haven't
great
seen
movie.
that
It was
movie. My
fine.
my
It
girl
was
wants
okay.
to watch it. I haven't
Yeah,
seen it yet. I
it's
haven't seen
it's a good movie.
it. Okay.
But talented woman. I think she scored no points. I don't think she did anything. It doesn't matter. This is the highlight of the All Star game, guys. This is it.
I can't tell. Is she rocking the short hair right there, or does she got like long?
She got the short hair, but it's in the bun.
She got the short bun. Okay, I see
Yeah,
the bun.
yeah. Dwayne Wade was trying to talk to her, but she ain't giving him no plate, man. Like, get out of here. But that's so. What else happened?
I don't know. You got me. You took me for a little spin there. I mean,
I guess we could show some of the highlights
I mean,
of
so
the
what?
dunk contest.
DK Metcalf won the MVP for the celebrity game. That's whatever.
I heard that he's getting a drug test. Random. I don't know if that's a joke because he did some like he jumped really high in a video. It looked fake.
For as big as he is, that's why it's odd because he's such a huge guy. Like most, he's basically bigger than. Well, I don't know. He's Zion Williamson, I guess. They probably weigh about the same. But I heard he's getting drug tested. But listen, the slam dunk contest has been trashed for the last few years. We had the Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon. Maybe that was like 6-7 years ago. That was really good. But like the last couple of years have been really, really bad. And my boy Matt McClung, he's not even in the NBA. They signed him. Well, he is, but they signed him to like a 2-way contract to fill the Philadelphia 76ers before the All-Star game. Like just to basically get him to have him a jersey. Okay, he's in the G League. But this kid, look at this. He looks like a kid. He looks like a guy that works at like, I don't know, the grocery store. Like
his hairstyle is the problem. And it's just overall look.
Big, but like he balled out in that slam dunk contest. He brought some excitement back. I was very happy.
He's the highlight of the whole weekend.
For sure.
Because what else is really there to guy? And it's something to be really it's interesting and it's also funny, but how excited we all get because a guy can put a ball in the basket up in the air. Like it's like a magic trick. Like, whoa. I know, right? I mean, of course it's
Pico. But he's flying too. I mean,
he's flying.
I mean, less than 1% of the population can do that. Less than 1% of the population.
He's 6'2".
Yeah, but less than 1% of the world can perform that dunk. I guarantee.
Yes,
even less than 1%. It's like probably half of a percent that can do that.
I agree with Dark Man Jeff. Get him a fade. Yeah, he needs a better hairstyle
and a little bit of a beard or something like a little
something, right?
Or something. Yeah.
But I like the fact that all the NBA legends and all the stuff they were so excited. Like everyone's so desperate. For some excitement in the slam dunk contest, and we'll talk more about we talk about the positive part of. Yeah, dude can dunk, man. I mean, great. What was that? Like how long he spent in the air, just flying. And the thing is, I've seen on YouTube, I've seen some of the stuff on the G League stuff. I saw him and I thought he didn't make it because I didn't hear from him. Like, I think he was signed on some other G League. I was like, they said he has some talent, but I don't know. I don't know if it's a defense thing. It can't be an athletic situation.
No,
the guy can fly in air. So what is it? Is it?
I think he's undersized a little bit for the position. He's not that fast. I think he doesn't shoot the 3 ball really great. He's just super athletic, which is fine.
He's got the hops.
But that's not going to always translate into the NBA.
Yeah,
game,
like he has lateral quickness. Can he? Yeah, if he can't shoot, and like I say, he's small, he's 6'2", and I'm assuming he's not. He probably has more of a shooting guard kind of.
Yes.
So if you're not passing it, you're not Chris Paulin around.
Yep.
So I mean, hopefully he makes it. I mean, I think he got a shoe deal. I think before this,
he's going to be all right. Yeah, somebody's going to sign him just to get the jersey sales and all that. Like it's just
fine. Unusual of a man that looks the way he does. Was putting it on, and at this point, we're like I said, so starved for some level of excitement, something special, something interesting in how the All-Star game used to be. But now it's, what is it? You know what I mean?
It's not as bad as the NFL Pro Bowl. I mean, that is like,
and which makes sense. Listen,
but
why are they doing it? You know what I mean? Like, why am I going to play this game, this exhibition, and then you can't play 100% because someone's going to get hurt because they get hurt every game. Why would you put you? So I understand the Pro Bowl thing. Like they should just get rid of it. But the NBA All-Star game didn't do that. Like they played hard. So like what happened? And I have some thoughts about it.
What do you think?
Okay. So it's LeBron's fault. Now, the reason why I believe it's LeBron.
Listen, y'all. Hannibal's a little bit of a LeBron hater, a little bit.
He's okay.
It comes out.
He's all right. I mean, he should have signed for the Knicks. I don't know if that's the reason.
A little bitter, maybe.
A little bitter. He should have went to Knicks so he could not win any championships, but he would have been our guy. Okay. So LeBron James did not want to participate in the slam dunk contest years ago, even though he had all the reason to. The dude could slam, he could dunk. Really, I mean, he loves the tomahawk dunk, and maybe because he didn't have any other dunks in his repertoire. I don't believe that he could have done it. He refused to do it. It was very odd. He announced he was going to do it at one point. He kept backing up, and it started to get to a point where, in my opinion, why he doesn't do it, he doesn't like to be the center of attention. I know it doesn't make any sense, but
you're saying
LeBron James.
Okay, I'm following.
When it's time to at the end of the game, he will take the step back shot. He'll take the step back. He doesn't like driving the ball because he doesn't want to get fouled because he's not confident with his free throws. The free throw thing is a microcosm of it's just you now. You got to shoot, and let's be honest, a lot of the reasons why he won championships was not necessarily his last minute shots. It was Kyrie. It was Ray Allen.
Yep.
It wasn't him. No, I'm not saying not every player needs to be that clutch, but that Kobe level of clutchness, that MJ, I don't like you. I'm weird, prickly with everyone, but I'm going to take this ball and be in a slam dunk contest. Now, that's how MJ kind of formed, right? And then Kobe did it. I think his rookie season, was it?
I think it was his rookie, and he won. Yeah.
And he won.
Yeah. So did MJ. MJ won twice, I believe.
LeBron avoided that. And I don't know if that sent a message to the rest of the league and the rest of the guys like, I guess it's not that serious. This is not that big of a deal.
I mean, could you imagine LeBron, Ja Morant, Zion, just those three. And then, there's bring back Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine think about how amazing that would be. And this Matt kid, that would be must-watch TV for me. At least I'm definitely checking out the highlights at minimum,
Yeah. And I think that attitude, I think a lot of other players start to follow it, and they're like, yeah, who cares about this? As long as I get, as long as I become an all-star so I can get, the bonuses and the contract and the ego, like I got this many all-star games. It got to a point where the main game on Sunday, I saw one play. Mm-hmm. Donovan Mitchell basically runs by 5 other players and lays up the ball. And I was like, okay, this is stupid. Like, what? This is not even a game. And Stephen A. Smith actually had something that was very, a rare time I agree with Stephen A. on something. He said that players were arrogant. Like, you played, like, no matter what happens, they're going to show up anyway and watch you. You don't have to even try. You don't have to put effort. He said that the players play harder off season and in their little summer group and their little
summer, the Rico Hines runs there
than they do in an all-star game. And I don't think you can even argue that, because I've seen some of the videos of those one-on-ones. They be playing hard for practice. Yeah. Right? Not in the game. Like off season, they be playing hard against each other. You're in an all-star game and you're letting layups come in and was it okay? Tatum scored 55 points. Like
the record, NBA All-Star Game record. It's a record. Yeah,
get rid of it.
But let me ask you this. Let me play devil's advocate. So, do you think that? Because I've seen some All-Star games that you could see they're competitive. Back in the '90s, they were like that.
Definitely.
A couple years ago when they started the new scoring thing, where it wasn't like just quarters. It was like you had to get to a certain number. And I remember that game, and it was exciting. It was back and forth. In the last quarter, you had like LeBron and Chris Paul, and I think it was LeBron, Chris Paul, AD, James Harden, and maybe like Kawhi Leonard, all on the same team, and they won that year. And it was a really good game, right?
Yeah.
But do you think these guys are to the point now where they're just like, hey, I just want a weekend off. I don't want to work. I don't want to sweat a lot. I'm not trying to go at let's save that for the regular season and the playoff. Like, let's just go out and let's just have fun. Like, let's just do some crazy shots. Damian Lillard's throwing half court shots and making them. You got all these fast break dunks. Like, maybe it's just they just want to just chill. Like, they're looking at it like, hey, NBA's 82 games. It's a long season. A lot of people think we should cut it down to 72 games. You have a lot of nights of the week. Sometimes you're on like a back-to-back, different cities, 3 different cities in a week sometimes. Like, I think these guys are looking at it like, listen, we're all basically – every guy in an All-Star game for the most part is worth $100 million plus, right? I think they're looking at it like, I don't want to get hurt. Let's just chill. I think it's kind of like that's just what it's going to be going forward. I mean, the NFL Pro Bowl's gone to that. They don't even play – it's flag football. Like, they don't even tackle anymore, right? So progressively, I think these guys are making so much money now that they don't want to get hurt or they don't want to have to work in that way. And I honestly don't blame them. Now, it sucks for us because we get to watch trash or we don't watch it all, but I get it. And I think that's just how sports is going right now. And the NHL, somebody mentioned that earlier, they do 4-on-4. They don't even do the 7-on-7 or whatever. It's 4-on-4. And literally there's a score. The puck is being scored every like minute and a half. And that never happens in a regular game, right? So I just think these All-Star games have become so like fluffy. And I think it's a way for these players, and they're always the best players, to just take a week and just chill and wear whatever shoes they want to wear. And they got this, they're going to hang out. They bring the kids, they bring their side piece, like whatever, right? And they're just chilling in whatever city it is, and they're having a good time. That's what I think.
I don't, and I do agree with that, and I think that's the problem. I think the culture of the NBA has shifted, where Kobe has been quoted as saying, "I won't take a day off because people pay to watch me." Yeah. Anthony Edwards actually talked about this recently. He's from Minnesota Timberwolves, saying, he doesn't like understand all this load management. They need to fix this because this may potentially become a problem.
You think long term
it's possible, because eventually some people like I will be pissed off if I spend $400 or $500, like me my family, to go see a game, and my player is sitting down.
I'm taking my brother-in-law and my nephew to the Memphis Grizzlies versus Dallas Mavericks game on March 11th. It's a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, if let's say Kyrie and Luka, my nephew wants to see Luka, and now that Kyrie's there, he's even more excited. Let's say those guys sit out, right? Or let's say
Kyrie has sit out since he came back.
No, and let's say Jaws kind of, that's gonna suck.
That's going to suck really bad.
To your point, who are we going to watch? I don't want to watch anybody else. It's not going to make it as fun. So you bring up a great point.
The load management thing, I think you're right. These guys are business entities on their own, and we'll definitely talk about that comment, Benjamin, because I want to ask, because Pedro's on the hotspot. He has to fix the All-Star game, but I'll ask him later. That they don't want to take necessary risks, because that's what businesses do. They try to minimize risk, and why are you playing a game that doesn't really matter, right? Like, the baseball All-Star game matters. If they win, the team win, their side gets home court advantage.
I think baseball did that, but I don't think they do it now. I think they tried it. I don't know. Somebody in the chat needs to. I know that they tried that because of several years ago. It probably might have even been 20 at this point. There was a tie in the All-Star game. People were losing their shit. Like, you can't have a tie in baseball. Blah, blah. So then they made it to where, okay, let's change some rules. The winner gets home field advantage for the World Series. I don't know if they still do. I don't know
if they still do it. Maybe I don't think we have a lot of big baseball fans, and not yet. I'm sure someone's gonna look that up. But yeah, they don't. There's no value. But it used to be value on just the base of how Kobe used to take every All-Star game to show that he's better than everyone.
Oh, and that's why.
That was a big deal.
He's got 5 All-Star MVPs. Yeah.
Jordan had that feeling. They don't have that feeling anymore. Only LeBron has it. They like, we're just goofing off.
Do you blame LeBron? Because he's the leader of the NBA. Do you blame how he kind of carries himself and how it's I'm not going to do the All-Star Slam?
Listen, as much as I like to poke at him, this is the only little issue I have. Is he doesn't really want, he kind of just want to be an ambassador. He's like I said, he wants to chill. He wants to play with his friends. Yeah. He wants to just hang out, throw some alley-oops. Yeah. But Kobe was like, I'm going to beat everyone's ass in here. Yeah, all stars, but I'm betting all of you, and I'm
Well,
gonna show it.
the only comparison to Kobe is Mike. So LeBron just doesn't. He's not wired that way. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's the yeah.
it's
But I
not
feel
wired that
like
way.
even '90s, everyone was way too angry for that to let dudes do layups. No, they would have someone would have smacked him around. Like, but
Yeah.
even the other players, Charles Barkley, like he played hard. Like he didn't goof around. You're like, and it just seems like it shift kind of when LeBron started to be the main guy at All-Star games. Because I remember even the very last one with Michael Jordan, like
Yeah.
he was playing hard. He wasn't,
Oh, yeah.
he's playing hard.
Yeah.
Just the willingness to play hard, where if these NBA players are playing hard on street courts around the country and they're playing hard in practices, but it comes to this where there's a lot of money you being given, a lot of exposure, and
Yep.
the quality of the product, it just looks it's the only thing about that All-Star game was good. The halftime show. If you guys love Afro beats, a lot of people didn't understand what Afro beats was and who were there.
I didn't see any about. I don't know anything about that.
Check it out. I mean, you were aware of it, but that was a good All-Star game because it had some. Halftime show had some decent music that was a little,
Okay.
You didn't hear a lot of. But other than that, But again, I'll ask you a question: how do you fix it? Like, what would you do if they say, "Hey, Pedro, the All-Star game is really bad right now. There's guys, it's 180 to 155 the score, and no one cared." How would you fix it?
Oh damn, Hannibal. Let me think.
Yeah, I should have asked you before this. That would have made more sense. But
I think I don't like the format of the got to get to certain points, and
yeah, I don't understand any of that stuff.
I don't get that, and I also think I think it's weird that they pick the player, like
don't like that idea either.
Draft. I mean, so then it's like you're just picking your boys, and then the competition isn't there because it's just what I'm saying. It becomes more friendly, right?
East versus West. What's wrong with? I understand. It's
yeah. I almost feel. I don't know, man. That's a good question. I mean, I don't think you can do the home field. I don't like the home field deal because a lot of times in some of these games, you might have all-stars that are playing and they play really well, and like maybe they're on a crap team, so like they can't even benefit from that reward. You know what I'm saying? So
you'll be doing it just for what?
Just doing it, for what? Like the baseball thing's weird because a lot of times at the end of these all-star games for baseball, you have like good players playing, but not the top guys, right? So then you have these relief pitchers and these bench players, like they're deciding the game and deciding home field advantage in the playoffs, or like guys that are probably not even on the field at that point in the All-Star game. So it's kind of weird. But for me, I think there's got to be a way where some of these guys got it. I think the All-Star weekend kicks off with the slam dunk contest. At least that's how it used to be. Slam dunk, 3-point contest.
Yeah. I forgot Damon Lillard won the 3-point contest.
And in the 3-point contest, you have a lot of Tatum and Lillard. Like these guys are big names. But like I think you got to start it with that slam dunk. You got to have some way to get Ja and Zion and LeBron's getting ready to retire in a couple of years.
Yeah, he's done.
Give the people what they want. You know what I'm saying? Why not?
It'd be nice if he would, but homeboy,
he's not. But I think if you did that, that would really kick off that weekend. A little more buzz, a little more excitement. I think the Mac McClung kid, like if he didn't show out, nobody's really talking about the All-Star game. Like he was the big draw, right? But as far as the game goes, man, I don't know. I mean, I think you got to have it just a little more like just 4 quarters, 12-minute quarters, or maybe 10 minutes. Maybe it's not as much. And you can't make it so gimmicky, I'd like the coaches to be a little more like involved, maybe like these guys, you throwing half court shots up. Like that's crazy. You never do that in a game. Like,
you're not playing basketball. You guys are shooting around.
You're not playing basketball.
So it's like, why would I pay? I would not pay to go to All-Star game. That would be a waste of money.
I'd go for free, but I wouldn't.
Well, it'll be a waste of time. Complete waste of time. Like, why am I just to see my favorite basketball players shoot around? Like, I guess I could just watch that on TV. Like, I wouldn't do that. And John Morant, I just looked this up because I remember thinking about like, should he do it? He said, "I'm not doing the dunk contest." He said, "quote, I'm not doing the dunk contest." Then he later said it'll take 1 billion likes for him to do it. Why? Why are the current crop of your best players don't want to do it?
Stephen A had something that made sense to me. He says the NBA's got money. Why don't you give these guys $1 million, $5 million? They can afford it, right?
That would,
Like
yeah,
do
that's
a
a good
big
one.
purse, right? And say, you know what, LeBron, we're gonna give you $1 million cash to the winner, cash money on the court, and
Make it
then
$5 million.
we're gonna
They
donate.
got the money.
Yeah, and then we're gonna donate another $1 million to your charity because all these guys have charities or causes or right.
Yeah, they like
So
money.
put $2 million on the table, charity. I mean, come on. Ja's
Yeah.
got gold teeth. He spent like $30,000 on his grill. Like he wants money. He like an extra $1 million. Imagine that. That's a big.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, right? Even for
Yeah,
these guys.
that's the one thing I think it like, you know, the NBA is more player. It's more player run than the team, right? You know,
Yeah.
NBA fans care more about the players than the team. Except me, I guess it's more of old school. I care about the team. I'm hometown, so I care about the hometown team. So
Who
Durant
plays in
going
New
somewhere
York?
else.
What team's playing in New York right now?
What do you mean? Like all NBA
Basketball.
playing?
Yeah, like who? No, who?
It's the Brooklyn Nets and
Oh,
it's the New York Knicks.
they still got a team, the Nets?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. You're trying to be
Are you
funny.
sure? Are you
But
sure they got a team?
there's a baller by the name of Cam Thomas that he's pretty good.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
we're gonna be fine. We also got this guy named Ben Simmons that just sits on the bench and he's been getting less minutes.
Ben
Which has been
Simmons
fantastic.
he's such a pretty guy. You know, he's got good girlfriends, I bet, but he ain't
Oh
a
yeah,
basketball player anymore.
he's not a basketball player, but he'll be fine. A man that looks the way he looks, he'll be okay.
He'll be fine.
I mean, but basketball, yeah. But yeah, I just don't see like Zion. I know why Zion probably shouldn't because his body isn't going to handle it. So I get that point. But John Moran, he's like, I don't want to do it. Why? Why do you want to do it?
Yeah.
You know, like the dunk contest used to define at least a part of your early career as an NBA player, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, like Bobby was talking about Vince Carter. I still remember that dunk contest.
Crazy, man.
I remember watching. I'm like, this. First of all, he's just like Matt McClung, but Vince Carter dunks was like,
but he was getting way more off the ground too. Vince Carter had a lot more vertical.
I mean,
it was nuts.
Vince Carter jumped over. Was that guy in the Olympics? That guy was 3 or something. Jumped over his head.
Yeah.
But I remember every dunk, and he wasn't missing his dunks either. Yeah. Everything was like he threw his arm into the basket.
Yeah.
He said his arm actually was sore after that. I was probably a little painful.
I can't imagine that would feel good. Just think about all the
he had
power and the force.
He jumped higher and he had like power in the dunks.
Yeah.
But they cared. It was a thing. MJ did it, so I'm gonna do it too. Now it's no one cares, so why I care? I think that's it. Like LeBron don't care, so why?
Like I feel like these guys, we could give them a lot of shit because it's just what we can do, right? These guys have got great lives and money and whatever.
Yeah, they can take some criticism.
Remember MJ, the young MJ, the gold chains. He's flying through the air with that's such an iconic slam dunk contest. And that young MJ was just different, man. His athleticism was just
he had never seen anything like that. He was,
But imagine Ja comes out. He's got some gold chains just like MJ. He puts on the Chicago Bulls 23 with the red, like he puts on the old Air Force, the old Air Jordan 1s, just like MJ.
My favorite. That's my favorite.
Imagine him doing that, and he did some of the dunks MJ did because he probably could. He would. I mean, think about that. What that would do, like for his brand, what the fans like. That would be awesome, right? And that's an idea I just came up with. Like these guys, I think they got to understand. They got all this money. They got the fame. Like a lot of these guys do a lot for the fans and they give back, and it's great, right? And I said earlier, hey, these guys are on vacation. You want to chill, but like, man, come on, y'all are making hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, it's for me, it's just I think they're just sometimes short-sighted on like how much of an impact kids look up to these guys and how like powerful what you do or what you say or what you don't do and what you don't say is. And I think, you got to give it to the fan. It would be good for his brand. I mean, imagine Ja doing something like that and Zion coming out with a Dominique Wilkins jersey on. You know what I'm saying? Like doing stuff like that. Because we see some of the players do it, but it's no-name dudes. Like nobody cares about some of these other guys.
Yeah. I mean, a few people in the slam dunk contest, I know of them, but they're not world beaters. I don't know what happened in the 3-point contest with Julius Randle. Why was he invited and why Julius Randle took it? I don't know. He embarrassed himself. His son looked disappointed. He should be. He shouldn't have been in the first place. No one thinks, oh, Julius Randle, yeah, he'll shoot a three. Yeah, once every game. Why are you on it? I mean, I guess, obviously it was injuries and stuff like that. Benjamin, I had a question. Who do you root for in the NBA?
Yeah.
You're Chicago Bulls fan, right? That's
I'm
your
a Bulls
team.
fan. Yeah, Bulls for me, and then Hannibal's Nets, but also Knicks. But you're more Nets because of Brooklyn, right?
Yes, born and
Yeah.
raised in Brooklyn, right next to Big. Yeah, we were friends. I'm kidding.
I don't even think that's possible, actually. But
I was alive when he was alive.
how old were you? Like 8?
I remember when did he pass? 98. So I was born in
96,
84. So
84. Oh, okay.
yeah. So
You were a kid.
no, we
Maybe.
were not. We would. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You
So
weren't living that life. Yeah.
No. Look at me. Look at me. You see? You hear how I sound? And look.
You were playing like Nintendo and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, Nintendo, PlayStation, the whole nine yards. But yeah, the Nets will be fine. The Nets will survive. This All-Star games need to go away. They need to stop it. Just announce, just like the first, second team, all defense. Just do that.
Yeah.
The skill stuff should stay around. I love the 3-point contest. I love that's fantastic. I mean, the best ones I've seen. You can still keep that going. It's a competition. Who wants to be the best shooter?
It is a competition. Yeah, and it's it's more easily managed, right? Because you're not worried about somebody getting hurt or this or that. It doesn't take 2.5 hours to complete.
Yeah. And seeing a guy on a roll hitting 4, 5, 7, the Stephen Curry ones.
You know what would be exciting? So you asked me what would I do to change it up, right?
Yes.
So a lot of these players, when you watch them in like the Olympic, when a lot of these guys were in the Olympics, they do these drills, a one-on-one or like king on the court, where you see like Kevin Durant going up against Paul George, and they're like one-on-one. That would be, imagine something like that. Like you have the fans pick who they want to see play as a one-on-one. So you got KD going up against LeBron. It's like a round robin. Like if you lose twice, you're out kind of deal. And it's like a bracket style. And then you got like Ja playing like, I don't know, Kyrie. Like that would be fun to see a one-on-one kind of deal. First one to 7, right?
That would be awesome. But I just think the egos. I think KD would do it. KD was like, I'll go one-on-one anybody.
I think he'd win. Yeah.
But it's a confidence in there. Like I think Kyrie would do it. LeBron wouldn't do it.
Giannis? LeBron wouldn't.
He wouldn't do it. It's somebody's image, man. Like I mean, especially right now, he wouldn't do it. Like I think Joel would do it. You're like, come on. Even if he looked embarrassed, he lost, he would do it. Luka would do it. So there is faith that the younger guys do want to win and play hard and show up every game. But I don't know, this little middle bracket, especially with LeBron and what he was doing. He kind of showed that everyone like, hey, listen, I can win championships, still be the most famous person around, do everything I want to do in the NBA, and not give a damn about the All-Star contest, except just showing up and doing this thing. No one say he doesn't play hard. It's just a culture of you're not playing defense. That's it. They're not playing defense except the end of the game.
So bad
when it's close. And then all of a sudden everyone's locking down doing defense.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. Bobby says a 3-on-3
that would be fun too. I think something like that, and I think that could easily be done. I mean, maybe you're not getting some of the guys might not want to do it like a LeBron or whoever, but that'd be fun. And think about like the big 3, right?
And I like the big 3. I mean,
it's entertaining to watch. Around, but it's quick.
Yeah.
The games are quick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of action. Imagine that, but with better players. You know what I'm saying?
In their prime.
In their prime. Yeah, I think that would be cool. I think that would be pretty neat.
Yeah. I think they need to do something else. Don't give the players choice to pick their teams. That's a dumb idea. The score to a certain point, that's dumb.
Yeah, it's weird.
They're going to try to limit. And that was actually this other question too. Do you think at this point now they should just shorten the season? Stop with the 82 games. It's not working. They don't want to play the games. Coaches, it's not just they're saying, I don't want to play. Coaches are like, you're going to sit because we got to prepare for the playoffs. So, like, should we just shrink this thing
I think they could probably start the season 2 or 3 weeks later and end it 2 or 3 weeks later, and that'll get you down to 72.
Yeah.
70, 72. I think that makes sense. Um, but then also the reason why I think it will never happen is think about the NFL. They added a game. And why do they add the game? Because that's billions of dollars.
Yes.
So the NBA, if they get rid of that, they're literally losing
And
on the
then, yeah,
ticket
no one wants to
sales,
lose
the
money.
beer, the popcorn, the soda, all the
Yeah.
people that work at the stadium, like the surrounding restaurants. I mean, it's billions and billions of dollars, right? And the cities actually need these. They need that revenue. They need the tax money. So like, it's not going to happen because it's dollars and cents, but it would make for a better product because we're going to have maybe less players feeling they need to sit out,
Yeah.
right?
And it will look,
Um,
because I think back in the 90s, I think it was a badge of honor to play 82 games. Like,
oh,
I
MJ did
remember,
it like 10 years ago. Yeah.
yeah, I remember picking up, playing cards, collecting cards, you
Yeah.
turn, you see those
Games
stats, you be
played. Yeah.
seeing 82, 82. Now, no one plays all of them. It's expected. But if
Yeah.
you at least scaled it back, at least to kind of bring that value, like, dude, you came and played 72 games. Like, come on, you could do that. 82 just seems like it's just not a part of the culture anymore. But like you said, the idea of them doing that is pretty low. And I would contend with the NFL adding that game. The beginning of the season was bad. Remember, everyone remember the quality of
because they only do 2 preseason games now.
and which we thought they didn't need it. But I remember the first 2 weeks, I was like, damn, they probably need that. They probably need, even if it was going through the motions and they may not be 100% physical, even if most of the teams, their starting squad plays one series, I guess they needed it because they did not look good. But yeah, most likely less games is not going to happen. So
no, it's probably not. I doubt it.
How about allowing less teams in the playoffs? That's a pretty good idea.
Well, right now
Half the damn league
what?
Gets into the playoffs.
You used to have 8, right? Now there's 7,
and
then an additional 4, I think, on each side. So you basically have 11. You have 22 out of 32 teams that are eligible. I mean, it's too much, man. It's just like it's too many teams.
Yeah. Then the NFL got it right. They got it right. And then they add another wild card. Did they add anything?
No, they added a team, but so NFL used to have to where your top 2 seeds, right, would have at least for the last like 20 years or so, maybe 15. Your top 2 seeds had a bye, right?
Right, correct.
But now it's only the 1 seed that gets a bye, and the 2 seed has to play the new team that they added. So they added a team for each conference to be able to make the playoffs, which I think is good. It makes for good last couple of weeks of the season. More teams are eligible, but the NFL is so different because it's 1 game a week. It's like every game is so much more valuable as far as wins and losses.
Yeah, and NFL, it seems that they've been just able to make tons of money, still get a lot of people checking it out. But I think their system. I mean, also it's 1 game. There's no best out of 7 in a playoff game. That's it. You're just going to you have to win or you lose. So you could just have a bad day and you're gone for this whole next season. So I don't know. It definitely needs to be fixed. I think they're trying. It's just all the things they've been trying is been really bad. This is like if they did this every year, I wouldn't have a problem. Like just do that every year, and I want no complaints. No complaints.
I didn't even see who was like I saw the DK Metcalf or whatever.
Yeah,
I didn't really see who the celebrities were, but there's always a couple very beautiful women playing.
Yeah, they had a wrestler, the Miz. You may not know who he is.
I know the name, but I don't really know much behind that. But.
The most important was Janae Monáe. That's the most important. No one else. Doesn't matter. And I think she don't think she played defense. She didn't know what she was doing. It doesn't matter.
Nah, man. Wasn't she in one of the what movie was she in? The Kellen P, the guy that does the movie Us, and he did
she was in
wasn't she in one
of those?
She was in They? I think she might have been in They. Yeah.
It's possible. I was not a big fan of, we already talked about this with a lot of that guy's movies, but I think she may have been. She's been getting a lot of good roles of late.
Yeah, I feel like she's went from the music stuff to kind of more acting and stuff like that. Yeah. I feel like over the last.
Wait a minute, I see some negative news about Janae. What's going on? She looks unreal. Janae Monáe slammed for inappropriate outfit for a family-friendly NBA game. Hold on, I'm gonna show you the outfit, and we're gonna see. We may attack this news article. How dare they? Who's saying this? What's wrong with this outfit? Jesus. I tell
Nothing.
you, man. Well,
He said,
Jesus, what is
he
going
said,
on
I'll
here?
tell you,
I can't
man.
even describe. Pedro, can you describe his outfit?
Hold on. Well, I mean, she looks good. I think. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Isn't she a lesbian?
Yeah,
She
yeah, but
is, or is she
maybe
bisexual?
we can
Figure it
talk
out.
to her
Okay.
about that. Like,
I mean, I don't. Can you? I don't.
no, probably not. Probably not. No, I think
Probably not.
she
I
has
think
a
she likes
girlfriend.
chicks. I think she likes girls.
Yeah, that's it. But is that inappropriate for a family friendly NBA game?
I mean, yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. She looks good though, man.
yeah. It's probably just
She's
skin
not
thing.
somebody that's ever on like my radar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah,
It's a bit revealing, but God bless her. Like, you know, it's whatever, man. Bobby says it's completely appropriate.
completely appropriate. That's fair.
That's a way of saying that. Yeah, like what are we upset about here? Is it? I wonder if it's it the color, like it's like sequence, or is it
I
her
think it's.
skin?
I think it's the skin. It's like that J Lo. Well, remember the J Lo dress, bro? The
Oh
green
yeah.
Versace when she was dating
Oh
P Diddy.
yes.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
good
PD
Lord.
really effed that up, huh?
He
Jesus.
did. I'm sure he did. Yeah. I mean,
No, that that's what
I
messed it
mean,
up the relationship. Yes,
good
and
Lord.
probably that too. All right. Well, you know what? We need to do a podcast. We just talk about Janae Monae for an hour.
I
I wouldn't mind
mean,
that. I like her music. I don't know if you're into her music. I mess with her music every once in a while.
I feel like if you played me a song, I would recognize it, but
Yeah.
I haven't listened to her album or like know
Yeah.
anything more than that one song or two songs that might be hits.
I feel like she's like an independent artist, like because you don't see a lot of her stuff being played on
It's not
like
mainstream. I don't feel
yeah.
like.
So I'm wondering
Yeah.
if she stays independent, but she's definitely mainstream in terms of acting because you know she's in big movies now.
But
But
isn't I feel like her music's also kind of like it's just different. It's obviously R&B, but it's like almost like a little more soulful in a way
yeah,
to
like
where
a
it's not
soulful
on the radio.
R&B
You know?
indie-ish kind
Yeah,
of
like
vibe.
India Ari and like Erica Badu, like
Yes,
it's in that
you
kind of
could tell that
vein a little bit.
she's not from she's a throwback artist, but
Yes.
she's here. But
Yeah.
definitely like her music fit what everyone was doing back then. I don't
Yeah.
know if she's still making music. Because you know, once the acting is taken off, like, do you really need to make any unless you care about it? But yeah, she's on red carpets and not wearing a lot of clothes. So we're big fans of that.
We are actually.
All right, so the next thing I want to talk about in the NBA, the All-Star game, before we talk about Westbrook going to the Clippers. But
This guy, I know this is like his sixth team in like 5 years, man.
I want to talk about Karl Malone for a quick bit and how he was invited to the All-Star game, you know, because it was in Utah. Usually the NBA is pretty good with tone and knowing what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you're familiar with Karl Malone's history.
Oh yeah, I think he
Pretty
knocked up like a
shady.
9-year-old or something stupid.
13-year-old.
Yeah, bad. Yeah.
Fought never took care of the child.
Yep.
He basically abandoned 2 kids publicly that we know about. Demetrius Bell, he actually played for the NFL for a couple seasons.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he disowned him. I mean, the last name is Bell, right? And Cheryl Ford, that's the I think it was Demetrius Bell was the one that he knocked up a 13-year-old and just abandoned. And then Cheryl Ford, for some reason, never took care of that child either. But he has other kids. But it's just a little bit of that kind of behavior that's public. We all know about it. It's not no one's lying. Like it's not a lie. And he was invited back just because he was from Utah Jazz. Like
it's Utah, and he's a legend, Hall of Famer, and I mean it happened. What you're talking 40 plus years ago, I would imagine, right?
Yeah,
he's probably 60. So, I mean, it. But to celebrate that's just like people.
You could invite a lot. You could not invite him. Just bring John Stockton in.
Just bring John Stockton.
You know, we all know
Barry
that
Sloan, the coach, and you could bring who else is it, Chad? I don't know, Darren
Jeff
Williams,
Hornacek.
Jeff Hornacek, Byron Russell,
Brian. Yeah, just to say, hey, remember when MJ pushed you off of you and you shot that in your face?
Yeah,
but that would have been, and the reason why I'm bringing it up because that's all people talked about. So that's another thing that kind of threw the All-Star game out of the whack is why now you're seeing all these articles talk about Karl Malone, and now by just doing that, everyone knows what Karl Malone did.
Well, it's almost
Where
like it's almost like they like people forgot about it, and then, oh, he's at the All Star game. Oh, let's talk about it again,
yeah, let's talk
right?
about it again. Hey,
Yeah.
he knocked out a 13-year-old and then like avoid any information because he didn't want to ruin his image and
And he didn't even go to
his
like jail or anything, right? Like,
no.
how do you not? How does that? It's just weird. How does that happen? How do you get away with that?
Back you can't do that now, but back then things were different.
Well, he's from the
And
country though too.
oh, yeah, he's a country
He's a
bumpkin,
country
yeah,
boy. Yeah, big
yeah.
time. Yeah.
Maybe, and I don't want to slam anyone who is from Utah. Maybe they don't care. Maybe it's not that big a deal. Like he was the mailman. He was the mailman. One of the greatest power forwards who ever played the game.
I don't think it
Third
happened in
on the
Utah. I
list
think
of
it happened when
scoring.
he was in college, though. Where did he go? I think
Yes.
he was in college, right? I don't know. I can't remember. I don't feel like he went to a big name college. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. Um,
Yeah, Bobby said that like how is he not
yeah.
incarcerated for statutory rape? Oh, it happened in Utah. If it happened, it may not have. But the fact he found the perfect team to spend his whole career,
I'm gonna look
where
up and see what
maybe
college.
that wasn't that big of a deal.
I mean, you got to figure he could have thrown money at it. Maybe he knew
There
somebody.
was some,
It
there was
could have
some,
been
yeah. There was.
something
I
going
don't know all
on.
details, but they found a way to keep it on the hush. You definitely couldn't get away with that now. Definitely could. It's
Oh,
just back then you could do stuff you want to do.
could you imagine? I mean, like, because he was even in college. I mean, when he came into the league, he's one of the top picks, whatever. I mean, could you imagine that happening now? There's no way.
There's no way. There's no way. A
There's
lot of behavior that, like, we look at MJ and it's like the mythical like legend. He is obviously, but the things he probably was doing when he was playing, there was no social media to record and keep it and write it down. Rodman, like all
hmm
these. I mean, Rodman. It was obvious. I mean, he was playing on Front Street, but I'm sure they're happy they play during that time because that's everything is so overanalyzed and there's a meme created after it and it's a mocking situation. So I
Yeah.
don't know now that NBA players are just more so sensitive to that they gotta protect their image and their brand. So they may not
He
want
went to
to.
Louisiana Tech to LSU. So
So
yeah,
that's why I get down over
yeah,
there. Yeah,
yeah.
but
Who knows what they do over there? I don't
oh,
know.
listen, they made listen. I think
Uh,
most do not do that. Most would have not done that. But Karl Malone is a special human being, and I don't. It was a bad move by the NBA by inviting him. They should not have invited him. It was a misstep, and it seemed tone deaf.
so, do you think Karl Malone, based on that, do you think he should not be invited to any event? Because he's going to other events, or should he just not be invited to big
He
events
can
like that?
he can come like if he shows up at a game, you're not gonna say, "Well, get the hell out of here."
Yeah.
But they invited him. He's supposed to
As
judge.
like a
Like
featured, I think
yeah,
he judged
you
slam dunk contest, didn't he?
Yeah. So like, why is he there? He shouldn't be there,
Mm,
knowing his history. And he never really came out and said, I was wrong. I effed up. This was a terrible. No, he just had the kids and abandoned them. Even though he's, multi-billion-dollar dude, he's not spending all his money because he's a farm. Like I said, he's a country boy. He's just out back on the farm, and and he's let his kids, and they're so talented physically and mentally, they were able to become professionals without his help.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's a bit of a piece of crap, and it just doesn't make any sense why he was on there. But like I said, Utah's like fuck it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's Karl Malone was always a weird dude to me because he was kind of, obviously a bruiser, like one
Oh,
of the
he was
bigger. I
yeah,
mean, just
man.
a beast of a man,
No one was
power
messing with him.
forward.
No one was
Nobody's
physically.
messing with him.
I mean, I
Nobody.
saw him his arms and his elbows. First, he before he'll elbow you. Massive human being. So
Yeah,
you would
but then
say
like
that you
I feel like he was like, and I could be wrong. I always felt like he would like talk about like Jesus and all, but then he's over here having sex with 13-year-olds. Like,
probably.
what's good? Did he find Jesus again? Like, what?
I don't
How do
know.
these
I
things happen?
mean, when Carmelo first came to the league, he couldn't shoot. Like he had no jump shot.
Oh, bro,
And he was able to form a jump shot, which nowadays you see any players forming, like is Ben Simmons, is he ever going to form like no, probably not. But that's how it used to be with at least some of the Hall of Fame players, that there was something that they were really bad at. But then like 10 years later, Carmelo's third on time all time scoring. Third.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it's
he was
crazy.
scoring and he played a long time.
Yeah.
So yes, fantastic player. but still a garbage human being. So you don't need to invite him, especially how everyone's so sensitive now to the whole.
Yeah.
Well, they should be not having sex with 13-year-olds. Like,
Yeah.
how about we
And
don't do that?
I feel like, so he's what? He's in college. I feel like he was in college. So that, I'm sure we
He
can
was
look it up.
20s. He was early
He was
20s or
20.
something. But it's still
I
too.
mean,
Yeah.
some of these girls out here nowadays look way older than they should, but
Yeah.
a 13-year-old when you see a 13-year-old. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
You could tell it was
It's not like she was 17 or something,
No.
like 13's like that's
intentional. Yeah, intentional. And then the idea of not trying to get rid of it. So, I think that was a big, so it was a few missteps. I mean, I'm sure they made their money. And, I think, I like your ideas for the All-Star game. We'll see. I mean, if your best stars, and I'll end it with this. If your best NBA players don't take it seriously, then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's it. If they're not taking it seriously, it won't work. So
you gotta have the top guys invested
all
and into it and promoting it and excited about it. Otherwise it's not gonna work. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So talk about at least former All-Stars. This move is very interesting.
It is interesting. Didn't they bring in John Wall? Wasn't John Wall supposed to? He hurt again or what?
They shipped his ass back to Houston. So I guess that didn't work out well.
Yeah.
I don't see this working. Russell Westbrook got brought out by the Utah Jazz because he got traded over there, and he joined the LA Clippers. They wanted him. Paul George wanted him, and I don't know. Who knows what Kawhi said? He doesn't talk.
I haven't heard Kawhi Leonard talk in 5 years. I have no idea what's going on.
I think he had to okay this. He had to say,
imagine.
"Yeah, I'll play with him." Yeah. So for my first question, what do you think the LA Clippers are smoking, or what do you think they're thinking? They think by bringing this guy in, that's going to help, or do you believe that this is actually going to help the Clippers? Give me your thoughts.
It's the Clippers, so I don't feel like they're ever going to win anything. I think they got Kawhi and Paul George, two talented guys, but Kawhi's just doesn't seem.
That's another one, low management. He don't want to play.
Yeah, not relevant like he was at the apex of the Raptors and winning, and it's like he's been kind of like just not playing a lot. And when you're not available, people forget you, right? And Paul George is always known for playing great in the regular season. And the playoffs come, he usually has a game or two where he shoots like 5 for 40. And he's, literally 5 for 40, and it's just trash. Like,
I'll defend him a little bit. Last year, he did take the team to the next.
Sure.
He
had. I think there was a deciding game last year though where he was hitting threes off the side of the backboard. Like I remember seeing it. Maybe that was the year before, but I've seen the videos, right? So I just feel like it's the Clippers, man. Russell Westbrook is. I'm a big fan. I like Russell Westbrook. Got a Russell Westbrook jersey from when he played with the Wizards. Like, I like Russell Westbrook. I like his tenacity. He's a Hall of Famer in my book.
Oh yeah, definitely a Hall of Famer.
We can't forget he's not far removed from back-to-back NBA seasons of averaging a triple-double, when that hasn't been done since Oscar Robertson in the '60s. So
he made it so regular to have triple doubles, like it's not as important as it used to be.
Deal anymore. And he was doing it every single night, basically. I mean, it's crazy. So, but he's, I think he's up here. He's just, that confidence isn't what it used to be. I think his shot is just not there. I think he sometimes goes too fast. And in the NBA, speed is important, but pace is even more important, in my opinion.
He's out of control. He's just playing way out of control. Many games that I don't want to say single-handedly lost for the Lakers, but some really bad turnovers, bad decision making. So right now the Clippers are 4th in the West, which is pretty respectable considering how dominant at 33 wins, 28 losses. I guess they're looking for a spark. They're on a 2-game winning streak. And it's really packed right now from second to 4th. The Memphis Grizzlies are 35 wins. Kings are 32. How the hell the King? I gotta watch. I gotta get the NBA pass because I'm missing the Kings games. And Clippers are at 33, and the Suns are at 32. So you already know eventually the Suns are going to jump up a little bit with KD. Yeah. So I guess maybe the Clippers are like, we need to get another guard that can come from the bench and kind of keep the
But he ain't
game
playing off the
going.
bench. He's not coming off the bench. You think he's
He's gonna
coming off the bench?
start.
Well, I think they got Reggie Jackson, right? They
Yeah,
still have Reggie
yeah, you're right.
Jackson. I
He
thought
may start.
he's gonna.
Yeah,
Russell Westbrook is
yeah,
not.
they're out.
No way.
Yeah,
There's
they're
no
out.
way.
Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm thinking if he
he ain't
comes off the
coming off the
bench,
bench.
then yeah, I can see it working.
I think that's a good move because he would then come in and be.
Yeah.
I think he's when he was at his best with OKC, he facilitated offense and did a lot. The teams that he's been on after, he didn't have to do that. He went to the Rockets with James Harden.
Yeah.
He went LA Lakers. Obviously, didn't have to do anything there. Missing the team. He went. The Wizards, Bradley Beal. He went to other teams where he didn't have to be the number one guy.
Yeah.
Right? And I think in the Clippers, he's the third guy, right? Just like he was with the Lakers. So coming off the bench would probably suit him really well because he'd be able to come in and kind of do his thing for 4 or 5 minutes at a time while somebody else is sitting down.
Yeah.
And coming off the bench, you usually want high energy guys off the bench.
I mean, things kind of turned around in LA when he was on the bench. He was able to still do his thing, and he was actually productive. It's just still the bonehead plays at the end of the game, but we'll see. West is stacked, man.
It's crazy. Remember when I feel like a month ago, he's like, I'm not worried about the West. Like he needs to be worried right now.
Yeah, but you're not gonna. There's a good chance you're not gonna make it out of the West.
You got Kyrie and KD came over to the West on teams that were contenders, like in the playoff hunt. So those teams got better.
Exactly. Like it was weird. It was weird that the whole Brooklyn Nets thing kind of fell apart because I think they were going in the right direction until KD got hurt, but they're gonna just held it on, But Kyrie didn't want to do that. So
do you remember when you said the Nets were going to win a championship? Do you remember?
Yes, I did. I
just needed to remind you. I just needed to remind you.
Remember.
I got to read it down.
It's okay. You have a lot of hate in your heart, but before we finish, I remember one little story real quick, and I'll give you a perspective. Actually, for your perspective on this, the commissioner of NBA, Adam Silver, said that he's not a big fan of players asking for trades. That basically along those lines. And then obviously Kyrie took exception to it. But what do you think in terms of this season? It was a little bit more tumultuous than usual, but the idea of these players bouncing around teams, you think it's good for the game, bad for the game? Like, what's your thoughts on it?
Bad.
Yeah,
I think it's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like this whole entitlement. Like it's just too many movements, man. Like it just there's no loyalty like to these clubs, and I get it, but I like seeing Kobe play for one team. And we're just not going to see that in any sports. Really, it's going to be very rare. I think you can. Tom Brady went to another team. There's only a handful of guys I can think that maybe they'll stay with one team forever. I think Luka will probably stay with the Mavs, right?
Yeah,
but everybody and Giannis, I could see him staying with the Bucks, but I could also see him
I mean, he had a chance to leave and he didn't. So maybe he stays around. Yeah, maybe Tatum stays in Celtics.
Yeah, I could see Tatum going to LA or something. I can totally see that. I like having guys stay with a team for a minute. Anthony Davis said he wanted to stay at Pelican, and then he leaves and goes to LA, but he won a chip. So it's tough. These guys are business. They're businesses.
I think they're more business conscious, and you're not loyal because it's about business. The only person right now is Damian Lillard, and we kind of make fun of him. He's like, you signed, and that team ain't going anywhere. Like, why would you stay? What made Portland earn that loyalty when you have not? You know what I mean? But he is. He signed up. You have more money than all of us put together times 10,000.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I mean, this is where the game starts getting really interesting because we're getting towards the NBA playoffs. So, we'll all check it out. I mean, you still got your team. You still got your guys going all the way. So, the Mavs.
I do, man. I do.
You said that you did. I think you just said it before this.
I said that before. I said that in the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like Kyrie's such a wild card, though. But he's so talented. So if he can just stay healthy and be, I think maybe he's a little more motivated now, and he's just like a little maybe the pressure's off. He's with an owner and a coach he might like a little better. So this could be a big move for the Mavs. Like if they make it to the finals, I'm not going to be surprised. And if anything, this helps their chances. Like in the fourth quarter, having those two kind of guards on the same team that can facilitate offense that well, and both are ball handlers. I mean, and both shoot a 3% shot very well. They can both get to the rack very well. They shoot free throws very well. That's going to be a scary thing to defend. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah,
we'll see, because they're not winning a lot of games since they've been together. It's only been a few games, but it hasn't been connecting yet. So we'll see. I think the Suns, man, and they did give him a lot to get KD. I don't know if they have much of a bench anymore. They do
they're going for it right now and next year. Like they want right now. Chris Paul's not getting any younger. They're going for it right now. And I feel like you're going to go for the team that KD's on. So like, let's say KD goes to the Bulls tomorrow. You're going to be like, oh, I think the Bulls are going to win. You're just going to go wherever KD goes. I feel like.
No? Maybe. Well, KD wanted to go to a contender. That's what he also like when he requests the trade early in the year. He's like, I want to
go to the Bulls. Yeah,
front runner. Yeah, he's a little bit of a front runner, and he was going to go to. So you put him on a team with already established stars. They should win a championship because he's just that good, right?
Yeah,
like when
they were in the finals 2 years ago. So yeah, they should. I mean, they went to the finals without KD. You would expect them to. Go with him, so
yeah, it's going to be the Suns, or the Suns, Celtics, or the Bucks.
Yeah,
one of those two.
I mean, I think those are the top favorites. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we'll definitely going to be talking about that in the next couple of months. But on that note, thank you guys for coming through. Another fast one, just complaining about how terrible the All-Star game. Tell me your thoughts. Obviously, you can talk about it in the comments below. We'll be here Wednesday. I know my boy here, Pedro, is going to be working a lot of hours. So we'll see. Maybe he can take a little break, talk to us about
we'll be here Wednesday. We'll be here Wednesday.
Oh, you heard it from the man himself. Hopefully I'll be here as well.
So he's saying I might not be here now. He's saying
but I may be listening. I may have a new podcast about Janae Monáe, and I may try to talk about that for an hour. That may be.
As soon as I get off, I'm gonna do a Google image search on Janae. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm
keep it together.
I gotta see what's going on here. Okay.
We'll see the full outfit. On that note, guys, thank you for hanging out with us for a little bit, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.